As I was learning about the law of attraction, I started to apply different techniques to different situations, especially back when I was struggling more with money, living paycheck to paycheck. I noticed that those were the moments that I found that were more difficult to keep the faith alive and stay motivated and apply the law of attraction, especially after reading Eckhart Tolle books, The Power of Now, A New Earth, how being in the present moment is the first primary most important thing that you need to focus on is being in the present moment. And when you look at your bank account and you see that you don't have enough money on there to pay your bills, it's really hard to stay in the present moment because your mind is thinking about all kinds of different things that you need to do to get that money and what happened in the past that caused you to be in the situation in the first place. And so I was practicing different techniques, and I want to share what helped me back when I was dealing with money issues and living paycheck to paycheck. It was a mixture of Eckhart Tolle and Abraham Hicks. Eckhart Tolle says that when you look at your bank account, it's like a trigger. It triggers what he calls the pain body. It's like this entity that feeds off of that negative energy, especially that negative energy of worrying about money. And so it can easily be triggered. It can easily wake up as soon as you look at your bank account and you feel the stress and the worry start to come alive and take on a life of its own. You become what he calls unconscious. You're not even a conscious being anymore. It's like you're awake, but you're unconscious because your mind is really focused on not in the present moment. And Abraham Hicks says that instead of looking at your bank account, look at your vibrational bank account. The feeling. When you apply the law of attraction, you feel as if you align your vibrational frequency with the money that you want. But when you're focused on the actual money in the bank account or the lack thereof, your vibrational frequency starts to really go down. That stress that you're feeling, the money worries, all that is bringing you down, and it's not helping you. It's not helping you at all. Even though you think that you need to sit and plan and worry and you think that's going to help you get out of the situation, it's not. It's really going to make things worse. So what worked for me is to, instead of looking at the bank account, I learned to focus more on what Abraham Hicks calls your vibrational bank account, meaning the feeling, the vibrational frequency. And what helps me raise my vibrational frequency when it comes to wealth and money is to look at what I already do have and be thankful for that. And sometimes I might not feel enough, but it takes about a good minute or two of sustained focus, and sometimes your mind just starts to wander away after 10-15 seconds. It really takes some self-discipline to focus on the wealth and the money that you already do have in your life right now and start to feel good about that and realize that what Abraham Hicks says is to go back and to remind yourself that you are a vibrational being, and that by raising your vibrational frequency, you are aligning with whatever it is that you want, in this case, the money. So I noticed that that's what really helped me out, and that's what helped me raise my vibrational frequency. And eventually, circumstances happened where I was able to make more money and have more money in my bank account. One thing I noticed is that when I did have the extra money in the bank account, I noticed there's a different mindset that I had when I had the money and when I didn't have the money. And I noticed, and this actually surprised me. It was an epiphany for me. But I noticed that when I actually had the money, it was like there was this extra room in my mind. I was spending so much of my time thinking and worrying about money. So much of it to the point where when I actually had the money in the bank, I noticed a difference of, wow, I don't want to say that I was necessarily bored or anything, but I spent so much of my mental energy thinking about money and how am I going to make money, how I'm going to save money, living paycheck to paycheck, that once I actually had the money in the bank, I found myself not knowing what to sort of do anymore because it was just all this extra space. It's kind of like living in a small little tiny apartment, and all of a sudden you live in this huge mansion and you have all this extra space that you don't know what to do with in the mind. That's what it felt like. That was a difference of mindset. And I noticed that when you do have the money, you basically don't need to really think about it. You're not sitting down thinking about money all the time. Really, it's just you're just enjoying your life, and you're just thankful. You're just thankful for being alive and thankful for what you already do have. And of course, it's easy to do that when you already have the money in the bank, when you already have the things that you want. It's very easy to be thankful. The trick is to be thankful. Look at your vibrational bank account, raise your vibrational frequency, feel the joy of already having that money now, and you'll start to see these meaningful coincidences happen. I can give you a few examples. When I started to apply these techniques, a coworker out of nowhere will offer me their shift where I was able to make more money that week in that specific job that I had. Or someone gave me money for a gift, more money than I expected, money that came at just the right time to help me out. Just certain synchronicities that would happen that I could not necessarily predict the exact details of the certain synchronicities, but that's what happens. And eventually the money was in the bank, and I realized, wow, I have all this extra space in my mind to think, all this freedom. It's a lot of freedom to do what you want and think what you want, instead of thinking about how you're going to make the extra money, how you're going to get by anymore. So just try this out. If you're not satisfied with your bank account, try to focus on your feeling instead, and notice the synchronicities that happen along the way, and try not to think so much of trying to figure out how you're going to make it happen. Just focus on your feeling first, and then see what happens.